Borderlands 3 is often known for its craziness, and there's no shortage of that with some of the weapons in the game. And while I've covered some of the best weapons in Borderlands 3, I thought it would be fun to mix it up and take a look at some of the wackiest weapons. So in this video, I'm going to be covering 10 of the weirdest and most unique weapons in the game. Starting off the video today, we have the Dead Chamber. The Dead Chamber is a unique pistol in Borderlands 3 that is manufactured by Jacobs, and the cool thing about this weapon is its reload animation, and I have to say it is by far my favorite reload animation in the game, and is actually a reference to one of the secret reload animations from Battlefield. Now upon reloading the gun, it has a 50% chance to buff the weapon with amped shots that deal 100% bonus damage for the entirety of the magazine. Now again, it is only a 50% chance to be buffed, so sometimes when you reload, it won't happen and sometimes it will, and you'll know it's buffed by the purple projectiles the weapon shoots out. Now the level 50 stats for this will be shown on screen, and it also offers boost to critical hit damage. It also has the red text, "You're not playing the odds, friend," which is a quote from the 2008 film The Dark Knight.
You're not playing the odds, friend. Let's do it again.
Now in terms of obtaining the weapon, it's actually available through a quest known as Malevolent Practice, which is actually given to you by Sir Hammerlock in the Floodmoor Basin region of Eden 6 in this exact location on the map. However, depending on where you're at in the storyline, this can also be obtained from Sir Hammerlock on Sanctuary. In general, it's actually a pretty decent weapon like a lot of the Jacobs pistols in the game. It's not insanely powerful, but you can get by with this, and the core reload animation is what makes the weapon very, very unique. Coming up next, we have the PORTA 5000. And you already know by the name of this thing is going to be crazy. Now the PORTA 5000 is a unique rocket launcher in Borderlands 3 manufactured by Children of the Vault. Now taking a look at the weapon on screen, you can already see that it looks very, very weird. And that's because it's quite literally covered in feces. But not only is it covered in crap, but it also shoots out giant balls of crap that would damage the enemy over time. The projectiles that it does shoot out are radioactive and do leave a giant stain on the ground, and any enemies who are within that stain will also get damaged over time as well. Another unique aspect of this gun is that it literally speaks to you about a bunch of crap. When you're killing enemies, it will talk to you. It also makes these weird fart noises as well. And you already know you're not getting a Borderlands game without some weird or outrageous weapons, and this one is definitely the top of that list. Now in terms of its stats, again, they will be shown on screen, and it also has the red text, "Never washes out," which of course is simply a reference to the gun and how it works and how it looks and stuff. Now to obtain this weapon, it's actually available from the PORTA prison quest located in the Electricity region on Promethea. Again, this will be located right here on the map for you. And if this is a weapon that maybe you and your friends haven't heard about, it's definitely one to pick up and just mess around with. It's definitely more of a novelty item. It's not too powerful, but it's not necessarily that bad either. And it's definitely one to pick up and keep in your vault when they eventually up the vault space, which is coming very, very soon, sometime in November. Another very weird weapon in Borderlands 3 is the Chocolate Thunder. Now this is a unique grenade mod manufactured by TDR, and this is quite literally a piece of birthday cake that you throw at enemies. And you're basically feeding them, I guess, because the grenade does very little damage. Again, this is more of a novelty item. When you're throwing it, you can see like it literally looks like a piece of cake being thrown at them. And it's just one of those really weird grenades in Borderlands 3. Now again, stats will be shown on screen. It also does have the red text "Boom Shakalaka," which I think could be a reference to the song Boom Shakalaka by Apache Indian, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Now this really does take the cake for being one of the worst grenades to use in Borderlands 3, but regardless, it's just one of those fun and wacky items for you to obtain. Now again, in terms of getting this, it's available from a side quest known as Just Desserts, very fitting quest name there, But this quest is given to you by Beatrice on Pandora when you first enter the Splinterlands region. So if this is something you want to pick up, that is exactly how you can get it. So coming up next, we have the HELLWALKER shotgun, often referred to as the Doom shotgun. Now this is manufactured by Jacobs and is actually a pretty good shotgun. It's a legendary weapon and can only be obtained through a world drop, so you will have to farm for this or just play through the game normally, and hopefully you can get this weapon. Now what makes this gun unique is pretty much the whole gun itself, in which it's a reference to the super shotgun from Doom, but every time you shoot the gun or pick it up, it actually plays sound effects from the Doom 2016 soundtrack, which I have to say is awesome. I love seeing weapons in the game that just do weird things, and when I first obtained this, I thought it was great. Now in terms of its stats, as always, they will be shown on screen, and it's actually pretty powerful. I mean, it's not the best shotgun in the game to use, but it's definitely one that can hold its own compared to stuff like the Flakka, even though that recently went for a huge nerf, the Butcher and stuff like that. It can definitely hold its own. Now in addition to this, it also has the red text, "So my demons, your time has come," which I believe is one of the lyrics from the Tesseract song Concealing Fate. Overall, it's a pretty good weapon. It has those awesome sound effects, so if this is something you're into, definitely keep an eye out for the HELLWALKER. Up next, we have the GETTLEBURGER, also known as the infamous burger shooting launcher. You've probably seen this before. It was shown in a lot of the pre-release footage of the game. And yeah, it's a rocket launcher that instead of shooting at rockets, it literally shoots out cheeseburgers. Now the large cheeseburgers that it does shoot out will ricochet off the enemy after doing some initial damage to them, and then it will kind of bounce around and explode after a while. And in terms of toy rocket launchers, it isn't the best, but come on, the thing shoots out goddamn cheeseburgers. Now what's even funnier about this is the red text, which is damn, 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 which I'd never want to say that again. Saying that just does not suit my voice, but this is actually a reference to a YouTube video that went viral years ago.
Oh my goodness, oh my damn, oh my goodness, they're going ham. You bite the fry bites back, my man. Damn, 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 crispy crunch.
Now this is one of the reasons I love the Borderlands franchise. The small little references and Easter eggs they put in their game are honestly great, and this one is very, very good indeed. So moving on, if you want to obtain the gun, it's available from the mission known as Dynasty Diner, which is located in the Meridian Metroplex on Promethea. And as always, the location for that will be shown on screen. And I mean, what more is there to say about this? It's a goddamn burger shooting rocket launcher. So if you're into novelty items in Borderlands 3, definitely pick this one up. Up next, we have the Amber Management. Now this again is another unique assault rifle in Borderlands 3 that is manufactured by Torque. Now what makes this weapon so unique is its firing modes, being Anger and Happiness. Now kills in the Anger mode increase your damage by 25% per kill, which stacks 4 times to a total of 100%. Now each time that you do get a kill, one of the exhaust pipes at the side of the weapon will light up with flames, which I personally think is another cool feature about this. But opposite to this, in the Happiness mode, when you get direct hits, they will heal you and remove anger stacks from the weapon, in turn extinguishing the exhaust pipes. So again, you have a very weird dynamic here with how this weapon works. Now, in terms of its stats, as always, they will pop up on screen, and the red text for this weapon is "will end your soul," which comes with the weapon always having the incendiary element. Now, I'm not sure if that references anything. You guys can let me know in the comment section below. As usually, I do like to go a little bit more in depth with the weapon and, go into detail about their references, just because I think it's a cool aspect of them. But anyway, moving on to how you get this weapon. Now, it's actually obtained from a quest given to you by Sparrow on the planet of Necrotafeo. As always, the exact location for this on the map will be shown on screen, and while the weapon isn't that powerful, it just is awesome to see different types of weird weapons being shown in the game. Fungus Among Us. This is a unique grenade mod in Borderlands 3 that is manufactured by TDR. Now the unique aspect of this grenade is that when you throw it, it essentially grows into a large mushroom on the ground and will eventually explode into a corrosive cloud. And you can imagine if you throw a bunch of these down at the same time, you're pretty much going to corrode most of the enemies in the area and just see a bunch of craziness going on with loads of mushrooms growing out of the ground. So very unique grenade, pretty damn awesome one as well. And the stats for this will be shown on screen. The red text for this is turn on, tune in, and drop out, which I believe is a phrase popularized by Timothy Leary in 1966. Now to obtain this item, it's actually a quest reward from the mission known as Witch's Brew. Again, a very fitting quest name there for this. And this is located in the Jacob's Estate on Eden 6, in this exact location on the map. Again, it's nothing too crazy in terms of damage output, but definitely a cool grenade to see in action. Coming up next, we have the legendary pistol known as the Sellout. Now this is manufactured by Maliwan, and this is a weapon that is given to you by Tyrene Calypso, and that's evident by the fact that it will literally talk trash to you in Tyrene's voice as you're using it.
Always remember that you're a gun slut, and you will never be clean.
Now the weapon will always come with the incendiary and corrosive element, and is mainly used to proc yourself with an element to capitalize on the elemental projector artifacts, which for those of you who don't know, these are woe drop artifacts, and essentially what these do is that when you're affected by an element, you get a bonus to that element. You get bonus damage by like 90%, I believe it is, to that element to all of your weapons. So it's very, very good. It's a very good way to melt bosses quickly. It's pretty much what most people are using this Sellout for, so very good weapon in terms of that. In terms of its damage output, it's actually not too bad either. It essentially shoots out a quick laser that explodes as an orb on impact. And as always, the level 50 stats for this will be shown on screen. Now as you can see, it does have the red text, "Hey there, superfan," which you probably know is a quote from Tyrene Calypso herself. Now another cool thing about this is the weapon is very, very quickly obtained. The side quest for getting this literally takes like 1 minute of your time and is given to you by Tyrene Calypso via a bounty board in the Abermire region on Eden 6. And to actually get the weapon, again, it's very quick. It's actually right next to the location where you got the quest from. You need to walk into the chamber and let it crush you. That is all you need to do. And once you've done that, you will then get the weapon. What's also cool about this is if you played Borderlands 2, you will know that this whole quest is pretty much a reference to another quest which is given to you by Handsome Jack in that game. So pretty cool there to see, you know, the kind of returning theme here from Borderlands 2. For the second last spot on the list, we have the Agonizer 1500, which is a unique rocket launcher manufactured by Children of the Vault. Now what makes this weapon weird and unique is the fact that it literally fires out 3 large explosive saw blades that home in on enemies and explode on contact. And it's also very similar to Agonizer 9000 saw blades that he uses on you during the boss fight. And they actually do a decent amount of damage as well for the time when you would actually get this weapon. And it's available from Agonizer 9000, who is a boss fight you will naturally come across during the main story. He does have a chance to drop this, so it's not guaranteed, but kill him a couple times and you'll probably get the weapon to drop. As always, the level 50 stats for this will be shown on screen, and it does have the red text, "Bow to Drell, the Pot Roast King," which is a reference to Drell, who was played by Penn Jillette and was a major antagonist in the first season of the sitcom known as Sabrina. And also, Penn Jillette played the character known as Pain in Borderlands 3 as well, just for those of you who don't know. I mean, this whole boss fight and this whole weapon is pretty much referencing Penn here, so pretty awesome one, great references there, and a fairly unique weapon to obtain if you're into this kind of stuff. And then for the final weapon of the video, we couldn't have this list without it, we have the Echo 2 grenade. Now this is a white rarity grenade in Borderlands 3 that is manufactured by TDR. Now what's interesting about this is that this whole thing is pretty much an Easter egg or reference to the beginning of the game when Claptrap gives Vault Hunters the Echo 3 and explains that they rebranded the Echo 2 because it explodes. And it's also a bit of a jab, I believe, at some of these Samsung phones that used to explode or something like that. And I don't know, I just think it's really cool for them to be referencing this and actually incorporating it into a weapon that you can actually obtain. So here it is on screen, the stats for this. It does have 3 red flavor texts, which I believe is the first of its kind in this game. These are: do not throw the Echo 2, do not hold the Echo 2 close to your face, and do not look directly at Echo 2. So just some funny lines there referencing the actual weapon. Now in terms of how this grenade actually works, it's actually very interesting, and it depends on how you interact with it. So when you throw it, if you're looking at it, it will actually decrease the damage, the fuse time, and the radius of the grenade, which is pretty weird to say the least. However, if you do throw it and then look away, the damage will be increased on it. And of course, this directly ties back into the red flavor text as well. So very, very weird grenade. Obviously, it's not that powerful, but pretty damn awesome to be holding the Echo 2 that explodes in your hands. So very cool. And again, if it's one you want to pick up, it's obtainable as a world drop, I believe, but you can also have a chance of getting this from the Tink's hijink slot machine if you manage to get a grenade out of it. And that's pretty much it for the video. I thought I'd do a bit more of a fun, laid back sort of take a look at some of the crazier weapons in the game for today. If you guys did enjoy the video and want to see more weird and wacky weapons in Borderlands 3, be sure to leave a like down below. It's always greatly appreciated on the channel. And if you want to check out what's coming in the future of Borderlands 3 in terms of new content and updates, be sure to click on this video on screen. Peace.